got to do something. Hey, it's swing for the fences. This is the like button. Do you see how I did that with my thumb in my hand? Now I don't have to say it a million times. All you got to do, that's the like button. Whoever's in charge of our Twitter team needs to get his ass kicked for putting the wrong Twitter handle up there. And of course, that got DC all excited because he thought we hired a new host. And he was like, oh my God, this is going to be the best day of my life. And then I'm talking to Title before the show, and he's got insects inside of his computer. This is a total shit show, folks. But hello, we're going to get you some winners. Baseball, 5-game slate tonight. Wonderful to see Titletown. Now, Titletown, do you have the same hat in different colors? What's going on here? Is that just the only one? Because every day I show up, sometimes you get this color and that color. What's going on?
No, this one, the Salty Crew hat. This is the only color I do have. I've been mixing it up a little more as of late. Just some hats you like more than others, and this definitely is my favorite hat. But no, only black and the Salty Crew. And for everyone out there watching, Holden saying I have insects in my computer, that is not true. But I did open up Discord to Captain 30 minutes ago. He found a GIF, I imagine, with a bug going back and forth on the screen. And yeah, I was definitely scared for a sec that something somehow got in my laptop. And I was tweaking for a bit, but then I went to other Discords, went to other pages, and thankfully it was a GIF by Captain.
So you're a GIF guy, not a GIF guy.
I don't freaking know. No, I think
I
it is.
I kind of feel like you do.
I always, but usually I say GIF, and GIF, now that I think about it, is peanut butter. So it definitely is GIF, and people have been throwing me off. So I'm a GIF guy, but I just said GIF. So who the heck knows what I am, Holden?
Yeah. Junior, great point here. I don't know what T's and P's mean, but it probably means for me to watch my language. So that's what I'm going to do, Junior. DC, I'd say it's wonderful to see you, but I'd just be lying. Talk to me. What's going on in your world?
Yeah, I'm not a religious man, but I do say a prayer each night before I lay my head down to sleep that RPS will hire a new host. It's been like 2.5 years now. My prayers never get answered. It's the one thing I ask for from you, Lord. And I saw the tweet, Mike Caulfield. I knew it was supposed to be you. I thought maybe, we had gone another direction finally after all these years. But no, I load up the show, and here you are once again drawing things with your crayons and telling people to hit the like button. And, I was all excited for Nick Lodolo, Joe Ryan night, and then I was doubly excited when I thought your ass was canned. Now I'm just back to old press DC over here.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it today. Just look at the damn screen and you know what's going on. So we got a 5-game slate. But listen, NBA has been kind of fun. We had the playing games. For those of you that have not already signed up, I don't know what you're waiting for. Just go and do it already. You want to use Title 15? What do you think? Whose code do we use today, boys, for the 15% off? Anyone?
Go for it.
Title 15. Title 15, TITLE 15% off the first month's payment of a monthly plan. And we got a lot going on. So like I said, NBA, we still got 4-game slates coming up. So they're pretty nice size slates. Showdown team, nobody better than our showdown team. We hopped on a thing called Playback last night, gave out some winners. That was great to see with Big T and JSU. NHL Stanley Cup playoffs coming up. Nades and his team doing a fine job. I believe Matty Ice does stuff over there as well. The baseball team's in full swing. You know our baseball team because you watch the show. You know who pops up here. And it's not just that. How much more MMA we got? Title, it's never stopping, right? It always goes.
Year-round sport, except a month off during Christmas time. So MMA and DC will be in attendance this week, live in Kansas City, cheering on his boy. I'm very excited for you, DC. Even this morning, I was driving home from the gym. It reminded me because you talked about it yesterday, and you've never gone to one. So I am super pumped. Anybody, if you have not been to an MMA event, it's different than any other sport. It really is. So I'm very pumped for you, DC.
Yeah, my friend Dustin Jacoby on the card, third from the top. Going to Kansas City. We got a suite. Should be a good time for sure. And then Max Holloway, who's one of my very favorite fighters in the entire UFC, headlining the event, that's a pretty big headliner for a fight night. So I kind of feel fortunate to get to see him fight. So yeah, excited for that one for sure.
I went to an MMA event like 20 years ago, and I heard a snap, and that was the end of it for me. But I'm a big baby. Once I hear the snap in person, I'm Dunsky.
No, I don't blame you. I don't ever want to hear a snap like that. It doesn't happen every day. I mean, I'm a wimp when it comes to that for sure.
I've only been to 2 MMA events, no UFC events, but the last one I went to was a bare knuckle event here in Denver. And we were right next to the cage, like the VIP section. So you could just like hear the face crunching on every blow that landed. It was blood flying everywhere. It was pretty gruesome, but also highly entertaining. I guess I'm not as wimpy as you, Holden.
Yeah, you can hear it all with UFC when you're right there, but it's different when you have those gloves on instead of bare knuckles. So I no thank you to that.
Punching's fine, boxing's fine. Like you hear it, it's fine. But once you start hearing shit snap, it's over with. Title 15, by the way. Title 15 is the promo code here. DC, when you go to Kansas City, I went to Kansas, lived in Kansas City, worked in Kansas City for a while. There's no better barbecue in the world. I know this will start off something in the chat where, Texas barbecue is the best. Or North Carolina. No, it's not the best. Kansas City barbecue is the best. It's delicious. It's sweet. It's tender. You need some. Go to Jack Stack, man. That's the place to go.
I'll be getting some barbecue for sure, and I like all barbecue. North Carolina, Kansas City, Texas. It's all delicious to me. You know, I'm into all of it. So yeah, I'll definitely be partaking.
That Tennessee stuff's gross, man. It's just straight vinegar. Tennessee, North Carolina. I know you like all of it. That's fine. That's fine. Title used to live in a place with great barbecue. Texas.
I was going to say, you were saying Kansas City. I have not had enough barbecue from other places to compare and hop in on this conversation. But I will say, Terry Black's I thought was definitely overrated. My favorite in Texas was Valentina's. If anyone knows Valentina's out in Texas, I thought that's the best barbecue I've ever had. If I get to Kansas City, I'm not sure I ever will. North Carolina, same boat. Then I will. Memphis, people are saying. I will experiment with other barbecues, but yeah, Valentina's from Texas, my favorite right now.
I did, AP. I just told him. I told him that it's the best.
No bias in that comment.
Complete bias. Right there. But North Carolina is disgusting. All these guys are, North Carolina, Tennessee, it's just vinegar. It's disgusting. Anyways, we got a 5-game slate, not a big one whatsoever. Today was kind of fun, a little 2-gamer. That was exciting. But we've got just modest totals. Everything's between 8 and 9.5, so nothing crazy. No cores. As far as the wind goes today, it's every day there's wind. I guess we got 10 miles out to left at Yankee Stadium is one of them. And outside of that, we don't have much weather. It's warm. It's going to be nice and chilly in San Diego tonight in the 50s. That's just how it is. Maybe you'll get some marine layer. Maybe you won't. But let's get into this slate, guys. And we'll start with the pitching as we always do. DC, I go to you here, and listen, if you're just playing baseball and the NBA season's over and you're just getting into baseball a little bit, maybe you look at Nick Lodolo, maybe you look at Joe Ryan, you say, really? These are the pitchers we got in the slate, but we got some pretty decent pitchers fantasy-wise on this slate. Can you break it down for us? And up top, in a small ballpark, Cincinnati, Nick Lodolo against the Phillies. Why don't you start there, DC?
Yeah, one of my very, very favorite young pitchers and just pitchers in general, but young pitchers in all baseball was on him from the moment he got called up last year. He was pretty good at the start, but, like any young player, like most young players, had a couple bumpy outings pitching in that park. But, man, he looks very, very sharp to start the year. One of my bold predictions was that he would lead all of baseball in K per 9 rate, and he's sitting at 15 or 16 so far through 2 starts, one of which came against this very same team, Philadelphia. He struck out 12 Phillies in his last start. I watched that whole thing. He looked just incredible, just such deception locating. He's got, he gets the called strikes. It's really hard for batters to tell, it looks like, if his fastball is going to kind of find the zone or not. So he gets people just taking pitches that you're like, man, why did they swing at that fastball right down the middle? He looks incredible to me. And, it's interesting because it's kind of the same thing with Joe Ryan, where he does have a very, very tough hitting environment to overcome here, right? Great American Small Park. It's the best home run park in all baseball. It's 80 degrees in Cincinnati. The ball will be flying. If you give up fly balls here, against Real Muto, Castellanos, Schwarber, Turner, there is absolutely danger for Lodolo, but if you're missing bats like he did in his last start, and I expect him to miss bats all season, it doesn't matter how close the walls are that the ball's going to be flying, right? Because it's really the strikeouts that we're kind of after in DFS anyway. I think he'll get him in this start like he did in his first 2, and I expect him to going forward. So he is my favorite pitcher on this slate in terms of, the performance I expect from him. I do think he'll be the most popular. Is that right, title? Nick Lodolo, I think, will be the most popular pitcher on the slate. Everybody loves this guy. Like, oftentimes you'll see, the Phillies have a 4.3 team total, but even when Lodolo has a big team total against him, which is fairly often, given that he pitches in Cincinnati, people still pile on. So people will play a ton of Nick Lodolo, myself included. I think he's the best play on the slate in terms of what to expect fantasy-wise. I will say, once you incorporate projections, then I do like Joe Ryan better. Joe Ryan, I'm going to go that way on FanDuel on my own lineup. He kind of did the Pablo Lopez thing. I talked a lot about him a couple days ago. Made a big change in the offseason. I follow baseball closely. This was kind of a big story out of Minnesota. Joe Ryan, Pablo Lopez with new sliders, sweepers is what they call them now. Added like 5 or 6 inches of horizontal break to his slider, and he's been awesome so far. Kind of like Pablo Lopez who had 10 strikeouts in his last start. Joe Ryan, if you look up like pitch values, he had the 3rd most valuable fastball in all of baseball last year, despite it being a lower velocity pitch. You can just locate it really well. It's very deceptive. And now he's added this kind of missing piece, which is this huge breaking ball, which is kind of coincidentally or not, the very pitch that you need against this Yankees lineup. Stanton, Judge, Torres, as good as they are, if you watch any Yankees at all, you see these guys wave at that low and away slider all the time. Now Joe Ryan has kind of the perfect pitch to strike those guys out, get ahead with the fastball. He's got the big sweeper, I think, to put him away. So this is 90 degrees, 85, 90 degrees, and winds blowing out to center field in Yankee Stadium. Like, it's dangerous. Kind of the same thing for Lodolo. Like, if Judge, Stanton get it up in the air in this matchup, in this park today, it's probably going over the fence. So I wouldn't be surprised if Ryan gave up a home run or two, but I think the strikeouts are going to be there for him. So, I think people are scared of that, near 5 team total for the Yankees. Looks like he's pretty low owned. I really like Ryan, Lodolo, by far my favorite combination. And then the other guy that I think is probably the safest on this slate, but maybe not as much upside, Jordan Montgomery gets the Pirates at home. They don't even have Brian Reynolds in there, who is, by far their best hitter. It's not even close. He's not in the line today, getting a day off. So I do expect Montgomery to pitch well too. But if Ryan and Lodolo pitch up to their capabilities, I think they'll outscore Jordan Montgomery rather. But Montgomery probably the safer option. I assume title Lodolo, Montgomery, probably the cash option most people will end up going to. I totally get that, but I do think Ryan's got a pretty good chance to beat Montgomery if he's as good as I think he is.
All right, so who's your 2 guys here, title, before you break the whole thing down? Who's SP1 and SP2 tonight?
Well, yeah, DC said Lodolo, Montgomery. I think Bassett will be right there too. Though of those 3, I think Lodolo will be SP1, be the highest owned. Bassett and Montgomery probably will mix in similar ownership. I think Bassett will be higher owned. He's $300 less, projecting for a little more, gets a better matchup against the Tigers. Not that I'm scared of Pitt either, but I think Bassett will be a little higher owned. I'll say Jordan Montgomery. He's my favorite pitcher on the slate. I'll take safety on this slate on this 5-gamer. I had a bunch in best ball too, so I've been on him before the season. But man, he limits hard contact. Doesn't have the most strikeout upside, but sitting at about 5.5 even money. Get me out of here with 19, 20 on a slate like this. Like, it's not like the past couple. We've had all the big names on the slate. Give me 19, give me 20. I think Montgomery has the highest floor, so he's my favorite when you consider ownership. I think he's going to be the 3rd highest owned, but Lodolo and Bassett higher definitely makes me SP1 there. Lodolo, man, yeah, I definitely like him. His strikeout upside is there, 7.5K prop. Look at all the other ones, 5.5's the next highest. But on a 5-game slate like today, I think I'm leaning, if I was playing one lineup, to play the Philly bats and just get all the leverage, all the game theory-wise over Lodolo. I mean, you see the most chalky pitcher, but Phillies do have a 4.5 total, which is pretty good. Again, best hitting, or not the second best hitting weather, but playing in Cincy, Great American Small Park, we like to say, 78 degrees. Man, guaranteed 9th inning at bats. I like that as well for them. So I think I'd rather Philly if I'm picking one against the chalkiest pitcher on the slate. But if you're not playing Philly, I think going Lodolo, Montgomery is how I'd go. I think I'm either playing Lodolo or stacking against them just hoping he gets beat up or hoping he's on the optimal. I don't think I would not play Lodolo and not stack the Phillies. So Montgomery's my favorite SP1. But yeah, if I'm stacking Phillies, I'm probably going to go Bassett. And I don't love it, but I'm not getting a Joe Ryan today. It's way too hot in New York for me. I get it for sure. He has strikeout upside, but I can't do that in Yankee Stadium at this temperature. And like, I'm not playing Nick Martinez, Spencer Turnbull, all of this. So it's Lodolo, it's Montgomery, and it's Bassett for me. The chalk pitchers, I'm good doing that though. Montgomery's my favorite. Lodolo 2, Bassett 3, but just with the game theory and the leverage in itself, I think playing Philly makes a lot of sense, and then going Bassett and Montgomery. Last thing to mention, though, FanDuel, way different than DraftKings today. DraftKings keeps messing up the pricing. Like Lodolo's below 10K. He should be 10.8, 11K. FanDuel has got it right. Lodolo's 10.8K over there. Montgomery's 9.4K. Joe Ryan, 9.9. But Bassett's the mispriced one, all the way down to 7.3K. He's going to be the chalk guy. Everyone's going to jam him in on FanDuel. I like getting different, though, and paying up for pitcher. We always do have salary on FanDuel to make things work. Just if everyone's playing Bassett, he's going to be 50% owned just because of the price. And MLB, there's other options. I like going to Lodolo over there, going to Montgomery over there, get a big price difference. So that's the two differences. DK, FanDuel. Montgomery is my favorite, though.
Two things for you, DC, real quick. I'm glad Tyler brought up FanDuel again. Was there anything else to add to the FanDuel side? And then what do you think about stacking the Phillies bats against the most popular pitcher?
It certainly makes sense game theory wise, and they do have the power to take advantage of Great American Ballpark. So yeah, Lodolo isn't.
They just saw him too. I forgot to mention. Someone in chat reminded me too. Like they just saw him. Lodolo mowed him. We talked about in the past. Does a favorite pitcher? Does a favorite hitter? Who knows the answer to that? But that is something to note.
Yeah, I talked about this a little bit last year. Like that's a question that anytime you're doing a show, it's like if a team faces a pitcher twice in a row. The general thought is that it favors the hitting lineup. So I actually kind of dug in, and I did eventually find like an article that someone like looked at the last 10 years of when a team faces a pitcher twice in a row. And the conclusion was it actually very slightly favors the pitcher, if anything. So again,
good to know. I've always brought it up, and you talk to different people. Like you played baseball, I played baseball. Like when tournaments, you see the same guy sometimes in league. Like feels. I mean, it's way different for varies of stuff, but it's
I was just curious because I would kind of say the same thing, but then eventually I realized like I'm just kind of like making this up. Like I don't actually know who favors for sure, but that's what the conclusion. Well, I don't know. It does make sense logically. But,
well, he's not going to dig through all that data. I mean, it really is. I've always wanted.
I wasn't gonna like.
What a great line! I'm just making it up.
Well, yeah. Well, there you go. But yeah, it makes sense. I just think Lodolo is just too good of a pitcher for me to stack against him. But I totally get why you would do it. I'm not going to do it myself. Bassett, I will say, it kind of excites me that he's going to be like 50% owned on FanDuel. He's looked really, really bad through 2 starts. Now, the Tigers lineup is like the cure to all ailments that a pitcher could possibly have. So, it's possible Bassett comes through anyway, and it's only 2 starts. It's obviously a very, very small sample size, but the results alarming enough on Bassett that I wasn't going to touch him today with 2 of my favorite pitchers going. Yeah, he could get the job done, but I'll prefer to go away from Bassett, maybe pick off a Riley Green or something like that. And then, Jordan Montgomery, kind of hard to argue with him as well. But I think on FanDuel, Joe Ryan is going to be very, very low owned because people are going to play Bassett. And then the alternative, right? If they're going to spend up, they'll go all the way up to Lodolo, or even I think Montgomery will be much more popular than Joe Ryan. So I don't know 5% ownership, something like that on Joe Ryan.
Yeah,
I would think on FanDuel, which there's no question in my mind is capable of putting up the biggest score among starting pitchers today. So I'm excited for that one over on the duel.
I'm excited to see a rookie today that we're going to be talking about here in just a couple of moments. But Danny Pettiford, you finally signed up. Congratulations, Danny. Congratulations. I do about 5 free shows a year that are not NFL. And then he keeps saying, I'm going to sign up. I'm going to sign up. And he did it. Now you're saying your dad, I mean, that's even you're depressed and stuff. Hey, that's great. Go tail the course tonight, win some money. Let's go. Let's go, Danny. Pick it up. You're going to win some cash, buddy. I don't know where we are on the like number. I'm trying not to say it. This is what you should do with it. Does anybody want to set a number, DC or title? Do you have a second to go look at where we are with that?
We have 400. I'll let you set it because I'm not hosting. I finally get away from these duties. I can't get yelled at. Do it enough. 411 people watching, 114 likes.
Oh, yeah. 411 watching. Then let's do 2.25. Hit 225 and you'll get them. You'll get the plays of the day. No question. Now, I don't screw around. I'm like JT, though. You don't get to 225, you don't get the plays. And we move on. It's as simple as that. Okay. DC, I know you liked something that I threw out there today. There were some stats about Major League Baseball and how much better it is this year. 9-inning game times are down 30 minutes from last year. And most of that is guys just grabbing their nuts and spitting. I mean, imagine that. Imagine people just dealing with guys grabbing their crotch and spitting for 30 extra minutes and not complaining about it. Runs are up 1.4 per game through the same number of games. So it's amazing. You make contact, you score more. Batting average is up 20 points. Stolen base success rate up to 80% from where it was 74% last year. You know, DC, I know I've talked to you about this. We thought the game would be better, and it's just easy, man. It's just a lot easier to watch now. It's fun.
Yeah, if you watch any of the best ball shows with me and Title, pretty much predicted all of that stuff close to on the nose, frankly. Mostly because you could look at the minor leagues. They made the changes in the minor leagues, and that's what the changes happened. It's still baseball down there. And, yeah, it's just a much better game. I've already seen like half the teams have extended the beer sales into the 8th or 9th inning because of the shorter games. They don't want to lose out on the money. And my old friend Siege was apparently agreeing with Matt Strom, who said he was worried about Philadelphia fans being able to drive home, not getting the 2 innings to sober up. It's too dangerous, apparently. I thought this was America, Matt Strom and Mr. Kaltenbach. So yeah. I'm glad they extended the beer.
He said Mr. Kaltenbach.
Attorney at law. I'm glad they extended the beer sales.
I mean, he does have a point, though.
There's bars right next to every stadium anyway.
Yeah, he does have a point. It's amazing.
What inning gonna do?
Plus, stop selling in the 7th inning, but now the games are too fast, so screw that.
Plus, you had more time to drink beers, get more down before the 7th inning. So, it's a different take. It was a stupid rule anyway. I'm glad they're selling beers all game.
Okay, hold on. Let me find a little comment here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it, which is going to be unfortunate anyways. Here it is. Simple as that, huh? Swoop. I'm going to take this down. Okay. And there's a little button here and I just put you in timeout. You're a bad boy. You're a bad boy, Swoop, and you deserve a timeout. Okay. He doesn't have a point. Holden, come on, laughing my ass off. Awful rule. He has a great point, Tony. He has a great point. I mean, come on. These franchises saying, we got to stop after the 7th inning. We don't want people getting too messed up. And now the game's going faster and they're just going to sell it to the end. Give me a break. Be like everybody else and bring your own liquor into the place. All right, let's go. Offenses. We'll go game by game. Yes, title. Yes, you were saying?
I was saying nothing. I just look at DC's voice. He was starting to break a smile, and I just couldn't hold it back in.
What's he smiling about is my question.
Just you rambling on and on. I'm loving it. I like you as the host, Holden. I like just sitting back here and listen to you talk.
Yeah, no energy. I saw DC's face. I got all pumped up. I wanted to smack him. Can't do it. We're in this. So I guess I can give him a big hug. He is blushing. I don't know why he's blushing. Why is DC blushing, chat? Please let us know. All right, so these 5, we got 10 offensive teams we can talk about. We're going to go game by game, as we normally do, and we talk about everybody liking Nick Lodolo. Well, Phillies, Reds, DC. For stacking this game, and baseball is a sport of stacks, if you don't know that already, and you should sign up for our site if you didn't know that, because you'll learn a bunch about game theory too. But what we want to do here in this game, because Title brought up stacking the Phillies, kind of interesting. They're also kind of expensive 1 through 5.
Yeah, I mean, on a 5-game slate, you can fit the contrarian stack if you want to. So I'm obviously not doing it. Talked about that already. I do like the red side a little bit, though. Bailey Falter, I don't think, just kind of a run-of-the-mill pitcher. Problem is that Reds lineup is pretty uninspiring in general. But yeah, I do prefer the red side. Tyler Stevenson, I think, is the best catcher on the board today, so we'll have some exposure to him. But for the most part, skipping out on the bats, despite the obviously great hitting environment here at Great American.
Title, any thoughts on game number 1?
Yeah, I talked about the Phillies on a 5-game slate. Like if this is a 10-game slate, I wouldn't make the case really for the Phillies. But the highest owned pitcher on the slate, they saw a 4.5 run total, guaranteed ninth inning at bat, good hitting weather, small park. I mean, Lodolo, he's not Max Scherzer, he's not Verlander, he's not Cole, he's not one of those top guys. I mean, yeah, he's got a lot of upside, but Holden put that up. But Holden's a great host. Come on now. But yeah, I mean, the Phillies with the leverage, I think it makes a lot of sense on this slate. As far as the Reds, yeah, I'm with DC. Like, I don't think I can 5-man this team. There's just not 5 names in this lineup that I'd feel comfortable with. The lineup definitely looks gross, but like Spencer Steer at third base, 3K. Tyler Stevenson, 4.2K a catcher. Will Myers got some pop in the 5 hole. Stuart Fairchild, 2-3 in the middle of the order. I think you can 3-man some of these guys in the top of the order on the Reds, but probably won't get to a 5-man.
I am so excited to talk about this next game because we could talk about a Frenchman who's going to be playing tonight. But before we do that and then sign up for the site. So Title 15, 15% off your monthly plan for that first installment of your payment. So go do that. We've already told you how great our MLB team is. Absolutely amazing. All right, so NFL isn't around, but there's other things to play, right? NBA playoffs, 4-game slates, monster slates. Our guys are the best in the business, and I don't just say that. I have seen the proof. You've got JSU, the greatest DFS player in the world. I mean, he is number 1. Who would not say that? Big T, somewhere between 17 and 20 these days. Mangone, congratulations. I heard you shipped last night. Way to go. That's wonderful. And then there's always Kay Fallick. He's a jolly man, and you can make fun of him. So lots to do here. Every single sport except for motocross. Any sport you could think of, if they play DFS, we likely have it for you. So great team that we have assembled here, and I'm looking forward to continuing. All right, so the next game is the Twins of the Yankees, and tonight we get to see the MLB debut of Edouard Julien, who is he's from Quebec City, so he speaks French, and he went to Auburn. And he walks a lot in DC. From what I understand, just looking at his numbers, this dude smashed, absolutely smashed. And he's 2K hitting in the leadoff spot tonight.
Yeah, he's extremely patient. One of the highest walk rates that I've ever seen in minor league baseball. He's got some power, some speed as well. So, kind of everything you look at, you want in a leadoff hitter. He's 2K. And normally, we're not looking for walks, but for a 2K player, you'll take any points you can get. I expect him to be pretty good for the Twins, leading off for a reason. And yeah, especially with this weather, the short porch in right field, I think he's got a chance to do some damage. So yeah, I'm in on Julien. I assume he'll be pretty damn popular given the 2K price tag, the leadoff, the hitting environment, and all that. But do you think he's a strong play? He's my favorite play on the Twins individually here. I do. Yeah, I mean, the Twins aren't going to come through, so I'm trying not to get too many of the Twins in my lineup. But I do like some of that lefty power given the hitting environment. Yankees only have 1 lefty available in the pen, I believe, tonight. So those guys should stay in the lineup most, if not all game. Julien, if that's how you say it, I think is the best player of the Twins. But you can go to this Twins team if you want. Johnny Brito has been pretty impressive through 2 starts. Not completely sold on him yet, though. So yeah, I do like the Twin side. And I definitely like it more than the Yankees side, I guess. Shocking, I'm sure. But yeah, I like the Twins here. Obviously, if you're not on Joe Ryan, you can go to these big Yankee bats in this hitting environment. I mean, they just got to, hit a fly ball, and it's going to do some damage. Franchi Cordero was in the cores yesterday. I think he's got 5 home runs already. A super talented guy, just never put it together. Looks like he might be finally kind of figuring it out. So he's an interesting play. First base outfield at 2,800. I mean, these pitchers don't have it, we could see kind of a home run derby here in New York. So can kind of make the case for both sides. Obviously, I'm on the Joe Ryan side of this game myself.
Title, what do you think of the French Canadians, just as a whole? Any opinion there on people from Quebec or Quebec?
Good people.
Good people. Yeah, it's a good answer. I had a feeling you would say that. Title 15% off. You got any stuff here on Julien or the rest of this Twins lineup? And then obviously, I mean, anytime you want to play Stanton and Judge, they can go yard.
Yeah, man. I think both sides make sense as a 5-man stack. I think both stacks are pretty low owned in this one. I see 87 degrees, wind blowing out in Yankee Stadium. I'm a ballpark guy. I'm a weather guy. Then you look tonight, like you go to San Diego, it's 55 degrees there. Give me the 87-degree weather over the 55-degree weather in a good hitter's park. Play the Twins. I think they're going to be very low owned, 1 through 5. They're all cheap too. So, I mean, you can have I don't mind if like a Nick Gordon, Solana, Miranda, like you could 5-man this Twins lineup, leave off Buxton, and then you could have a 3-man really expensive stack with 2 high-priced pitchers as well. So, yeah, I can make the case for the Twins and how the Yankees. Yeah, Joe Ryan's got strikeout stuff, but if it goes downhill, this lineup can turn over. And again, you're saying the same thing. The bottom of the order after 1 through 4, 5 through 9 for the Yankees, all below 3K. So you can add cheap pieces part of your stack because of the weather, because of the park. Yeah, we're going to get to some of these games later. I'm just going to say pass. This game coming in at the ownership it's coming in at, I think it's behind Toronto, behind the Cardinals. Probably, yeah, those 2 are the chalk. Padres might get a little, but Cardinals and Blue Jays, I think, will be the chalk. This game forgotten a little. Yeah, sign me up for GPPs.
Franchi Cordero, all dude is hit. All it took was him to go to the Yankees, I guess. You know, it's been a little while, but Franchi has been raking, man. It seems like every other night he's hitting a home run. All right, where are we? I don't know where we are in the likes, but we got a nice crowd today watching. That's great to see. RPS, we're the best in the world, and you just need to deal with it. It's true. Title does not have any bad bones in his body, although he liked my pants at the party that we had, the whole RPS party. But you also said if I took the leggings off or the leg part off, that there would be quote unquote cheeks, which definitely did not make me feel good, Title. Thank you for the compliment, though. I appreciated it.
Well, just don't take them off, and then you're good to go.
Yeah, I mean, I got to stay on now, right?
Yeah,
cheeks.
Exactly.
The kids say cheeks. It's wonderful to see. Toronto and Detroit. Hey, DC, why don't we give Toronto, Detroit to our man Title here? Okay, you've been going first. I can tell he's over there just steaming, actually admitting that he likes French Canadians. But nonetheless, the Blue Jays are going to be super chalk, right? So you like them? That's wonderful. Let's go. Springer, Bichette, Vlad, Varsho, Chapman hits doubles and home runs every single game. Break down these Blue Jays for us, buddy. And then if you like a Tiger or 2, that'd be nice.
No, I'm not getting the Tiger. I play baseball. I play 5-3 stacking. I'm not making a case for these Tigers. I get the thing about Bassett. If you want to take the leverage for the Tigers, I like the Philly route more if I'm going to do it. The chalkiest pitcher. I'm not playing Tigers. And like you said, Toronto, they'll be the most popular team on the slate. I think Yankees, Twins. I think Philly's interesting. And I definitely like the Cardinals more than Toronto. So no, this is a game I'll be fading in tournaments.
All right, DC, anything? Blue Jays, Tigers.
Yeah, I like the Tigers just for one-offs. There's a bunch of guys who can play. Green, Baду, Matan, Kerry Carpenter has looked good these last couple games. I wouldn't go with the full stack, I don't think, but pretty good leverage, especially on FanDuel where we know Chris Bassett's going to be very, very popular. So I don't mind, mixing in a Tiger or 2 in your lineups. And yeah, the Blue Jays, I mean, this total's been climbing all day, close to 6 now. They disappointed yesterday, but we know how good this offense is. They're going to come through more often than not in this matchup. I'm with Title. I do like the Cardinals over the Blue Jays as my favorite stack. And, both the hitters you want on both teams are, for the most part, very expensive. So you can't really combine them very well, especially if you're paying up for Lodolo. So I do lean the Cardinal side, but wouldn't want to talk anybody off of the Blue Jays. Turnbull, not very good. He's been pretty bad through a couple starts. I'd expect the Blue Jays certainly to do some damage here.
No concern with St. Louis coming out of Coors and then going back to sea level.
I mean, they're pitching. The guy pitching is a little better than you, Holden, but not much. So I'm good on.
I just hate playing offenses when they go away from Coors. Like even the Rockies have started flying out as early as they can to get to their next city because it's just been such a tough adjustment for all of them. But you know what? You want to play the matchup? Go for it. I'm all for it. 2 more games left. Pittsburgh, St. Louis will be the next one. So since you were talking about St. Louis, why don't you go there, DC?
Yeah, I mean, Vince Velasquez starting for the Pirates has been terrible for years. Even pitching out of the bullpen, he hasn't been able to get the job done. Sometimes that can be a cure for ailing starting pitchers. But even then, he had home run issues, got crushed by hitters from both sides of the plate. Now the Pirates have turned him back into a starter, and it has not gone well through a couple of starts for Vince Velasquez. I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. This lineup for the Cardinals been a slightly disappointing, I think, through the first couple of weeks here of the season, but still a very, very dangerous lineup that I expect to do a ton of damage when it's all said and done. So really, I mean, they've got kind of guys on the bench that I think would be starting for most teams. This is a super, super strong lineup. I think they're going to do damage here. Good hitting weather in St. Louis. Bad bullpen behind Velasquez, who I don't think will make it very long in this game anyway. Cardinals my number one stack tonight.
Okay, very good. Any thoughts on that one, Mr. Title? I know you like the Blue Jays more, right?
You definitely have not been listening, but that's okay.
No, not that last one. I was not listening the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, that's okay. No, Vince Velasquez, you did. At least Mangone, like he'll ask the question. He'll kind of admit he's not listening.
Yeah.
You'll just throw out a sentence and you just hope it sticks. But
yeah,
we'll move on.
I like when I do shows with Mangone and Holden, and it's like nobody gives
no one gives a shit about what he's saying. Like even the listeners check out. They're like, "What?"
I got to try to sneak in some like just really off the wall comments, see if I can slip it past both of you at the same time.
Well, you're talking to yourself on that show.
I meant to say Title loves the Cardinals tonight.
Yeah, Vince Velasquez sucks. The Cardinals lineup, like DC says, like you can stack this team 5 through 9, ignore the 1 through 4, 5 through 9, and I mean these guys are good. They have a bunch of power. No, actually you can shortstop, second base. Someone in chat, you can't play Donovan and Gorman because they're both second base. But 5 through 9 does work in that stack. Probably my preferred route because I think it's a little lower owned. Gorman probably gets a good amount of exposure. Maybe can mix in Goldie or something there. But yeah, Velasquez is no good. It's warm in the Midwest, 76 degrees in St. Louis. Target the worst pitcher on the slate. Don't think you're doing something wrong at all. That's why, I like the Cardinals way more than Toronto, which is why I wouldn't get to Toronto. But Cardinals are going to be popular too. And I think you could fade Toronto and St. Louis today and go to the Yankees game with that weather. Or, Philly, Cincy. DC likes Cincy a little bit. The lineup's just cheeks. But on the Philly side, you get all the leverage. That's how I'm looking at it. So play the Cardinals, sure. The other spots will be lower on them.
Cheeks once again. One more game to go to. What are we? 225 likes for the plays of the day. If you don't do it, big deal. We'll go on. I haven't seen Swoop come back since he went into timeout. So come on. Did Spidey Bomb say, where is Madison? Spell her name correctly first, and then maybe she'll pay attention to you. I mean, come on, dude. You guys also on Twitter, will you guys stop being assholes? I mean, in all seriousness, the girl's trying to have a career in broadcasting and you're just talking about other stuff. And I know it's silly coming from me, but I'm completely serious. Like, you're being assholes. Be nice. This girl's good at what she does. Yes, she's attractive too, but she's making picks and she's winning. Now, if you want to make fun of her when she starts losing, because it happens to all of us cappers, then by all means go and do so, but you don't have to be jerks about it. I don't like what I'm seeing right there. And I will
say, if you are one of the people out there and Holden is telling you not to do something that he wouldn't even do it, you might want to take a second thought.
Not enough with the sweetheart or the boob stuff. Enough. She just hit a plus. What was it? 185 parlay.
She had both the dogs yesterday. She
hit them both. She hit them both. So tail it. Say thanks. If she gets it wrong, all right, bust some balls, but it's enough already. You guys are being mean, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Anyways, we got one more game to get to, boys. We're going to talk about that game right now. That's going to be Milwaukee, San Diego, and DC. It's going to be in the 50s in San Diego, as it seems like it always is. Nick Martinez and a bullpen game here for the Brewers, right? So, first, you know what? You two guys need to. What do you think about targeting bullpen games? Either one of you stay away from it or go to it, or what?
I usually lean to not messing with it. I don't like them seeing a new pitcher every single time at the plate. Really, I'd rather them get 2, 3. If they're only getting 2, that means they're already hitting them hard, and you're getting the worst part of the bullpen there. I like seeing familiar arms, so I lean against it. But
Yeah,
DC got some numbers.
No, I have the same take, because when you know it's going to be a whole bullpen game, right? You can basically plan it out. The managers can plan it out which relievers are the best against which hitters, and mix and match and try to kind of keep the offense off their toes. They can't get into the same rhythm. And then, especially for DFS, when we're talking, like, I think oftentimes you get 4, 5, 6 runs off the bullpen, but the best way to go in DFS is you get a starter who just doesn't have it, and they kind of leave him out there for too long, right? And you get 7 or 8 runs. When it's a bullpen game, if one of the bullpen pitchers doesn't have it, they're just out of the game after an inning or even less. So I do think there's less upside in general going up against the bullpens. And yeah, speaking of this game, I mean, I think this game's the least interesting on the slate. Obviously, you can't play any of the pitchers for Milwaukee with the bullpen game. Nick Martinez been pretty underwhelming through 2 starts. I wouldn't play him against Milwaukee. Just not enough upside, I don't think, on this slate. And then the weather, really good hitting weather pretty much everywhere. Yeah, everywhere else. In this game, 55 degrees, not a great hitter's park in general. I do like Juan Soto as a one-off who has looked like he's kind of turning it around at a slow start. But for how good he is, he's also very, very streaky. When he gets going, you just can't get him out. Looks like he might be finding it. So he's my favorite play in this game overall. I do like Garrett Mitchell as a one-off for the Brewers, but overall, I think this is the least interesting game on the slate and the one I'll have the least exposure to.
Title, you're fading this, aren't you?
Yeah, I second that. I mean, if you look at Padres, they have about a 5 total. If that's where you want to go, sure. But I like weather. I like ballparks. San Diego is one of the worst on the slate for both of those. Definitely not playing the Brewers bullpen game for the Brewers against the Padres. So I'll live to fight another day if they break the slate. I like multiple other teams better.
All right. You know what? DC never promotes the site. Like you never have heard. I want to see how DC promotes the site. Use the code title 15 DC. It's all you, dude. Just promote it. Well, I don't know what you're going to say, but I'm looking forward to hearing it.
Yeah. Well, I've got to promote it on the UFC shows, which apparently no longer a part of. Maybe I wasn't doing a good enough job promoting the site to just to stick with that role, but best in the business, the best DFS players in the world. Big T, JSU, Titletown, my donkey ass not included. Get the core plays in the Discord, answering all your questions.
True.
Don't talk to Holden and sign up. Title 15? Titletown 15?
Title 15. Just Title 15.
That's like that.
I would not sign up because of what you said, but I would say it went a lot better.
I was having a strong show today until you made me do that. Now
it went a lot better than any of us thought it would.
Holden.
Yeah, I thought it was definitely going to fall apart there. You know what I'm going to do? We're going to give him 60 seconds to get to the 225 number. It'll be as simple as what are they at right now? About
183. So I don't even think.
It's not. Don't even bother. Okay, that's all good. Very good. So make sure you Butthole Jenkins. I mean, but I wish I had a fan as big as Butthole Jenkins is a Big T. I mean, I don't. Butthole, why not? Butthole. If I could procure from you some DFS game worn underwear, would you accept it if I sent it to you? Because I think I could do it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. We don't need more Big T in front of the payroll.
If I could sign up twice, I would. I definitely think you can sign up twice. We'll allow that.
We don't want Big T in front of the paywall because you got to pay for Big T stuff. JSU's never in front of the paywall. You got to pay for JSU stuff. DC always in front of the paywall.
Well, we wouldn't be on YouTube anymore if JSU was on free shows multiple times.
You're right. He would totally kill us. All right, we're done. We're done. It was wonderful seeing you. I told you I'm a jerk when it comes to getting to whatever it is that you need to get in. So that's it. I hope everybody had a wonderful time watching the show today. Yes, Jordan Newens, I know I do. You're so wonderful. I actually, no, there's correct. No, this guy said something nice about me. Yeah, we don't want you on here, JSU. We don't want to get kicked off of YouTube. JT Hayes almost got us kicked off. I told you it wouldn't be 30 minutes with me blabbering title. But anyways, we're out of here for Titletown, for DC. Use the code Title15. I'm Holden. I'm going to stall just for a second because I got to go hit the outro music.